This is the type of video I would hope not to be recording right now. We have the NFL Unpopular Opinions, and I am just not excited for this. Alright, let's get down to it. Travis Kelce isn't even close to the same level as George Kittle. The tight end position requires blocking, and no one who doesn't already play on the offensive line blocks better than Kittle. Well, he's not wrong. George Kittle is the best blocking tight end in the league, probably the best blocking skilled position in the league. But to say Travis Kelce is nowhere even close to the level of George Kittle just because he lacks in blocking, it's just invalid. I mean, Kelce can do it all. He can run routes, he's pretty fast, he can catch the ball, he can break tackles. But I'll say this, and I know the comment section is going to attack me for this. Right now, George Kittle is better than Travis Kelce. The league being split into AFC and NFC sucks and is outdated. Well, my friend, I'm sorry, but you're so ungrateful. I get why it is this way, but it doesn't need to be anymore. How awesome would it be to have two division rivals go against each other in the Super Bowl? You know what? I kind of get what this guy is saying, and he does produce a fair point. Imagine a Giants versus football team Super Bowl. Okay, no one wants to see that. That would be trash. But yeah, I think what they should do is just keep the two conferences, but we should have like seeding Super Bowls. Like, it shouldn't be seeded by each conference, should be seeded by the entire league. Like, instead of having a 7th seed, we now have like a 14th seed, and then first place versus 14. I don't know. I'm just speaking out of my ass right now. The biggest no call in Super Bowl history was in Super Bowl 43. The Steelers' James Harrison had his historic 101-yard interception return for a touchdown at the end of the first half against the Cardinals. There was a clear block in the back on Hightower on that play. No mention of this play at all since Harrison's play was so historic. Nobody ever mentions this no call ever. Alright, this is the play. And nope. That's his side. No block in the back. Stafford is overrated as hell, and we're all going to be divided on this issue when he flops hard in LA. I can see where he's getting at because Stafford is getting old, but just no, stop. Just go to the gulag. Everyone saw Russell Wilson's success on a rookie contract, and now the league is going mad for them as if it's the only way to win. Teams give up way too much draft capital to get the guy and then abandon them way too quickly after barely giving them a chance to succeed. Well, I certainly agree with this in a way, but the Seahawks gave up like 2 or 3 first-round picks for Jamal Adams, and he wasn't used the right way. I mean, he couldn't cover, but at least he got sacked, so Allen Robinson is in a top 10 gulag, straight to the gulag. To be honest, I don't think I can name 10 better receivers than Allen Robinson. He's just that good. DeAndre Hopkins, Devontae Adams, Tyreek Hill. There's a few of them that you could debate, but he's definitely top 10, if not top 5. This dude really put Michael Thomas in the top 10. You're going straight to the gulag, and you're staying there for life. I think people are starting to come around to this in the last few years, but the goal line fade is quite frankly a waste of an offensive position. Well, first of all, it's not a possession, it's a play. I would say that in my experience watching the league for however long, I'd guess that a team choosing to go for a fade score a touchdown less than 10% of the time. Hey, he's not wrong to an extent. I mean, on first and goal, you should probably just run the ball. I don't know where he got 10% from because I'm pretty sure it's a 50-50 ball. As a Giants fan, I'm excited to be throwing balls to Kenny Galladay and Kyle Rudolph on fade routes. Wait, why am I speaking like I'm Daniel Jones? I'm just a fan. What am I? Like, have you seen my Kenny Galladay highlights from the past few years? I mean, this guy he just catches almost everything. And Kyle Rudolph is a red zone threat too. I mean, this dude's old, but he has some juice left in him. Great wide receivers put up better numbers with bad quarterbacks because they get fed the ball more. Oh yeah, and that proves my point with Allen Robinson. I mean, his entire career, he has been surrounded with atrocious quarterbacks, and that's going to continue with Andy Dalton. Passing yards in a season for a quarterback shouldn't be a valid argument towards how great of a season they had. You just said it. You couldn't have said it any better. One obvious example, Jameis Winston. Didn't this dude throw like 30 interceptions while throwing for 5,000 yards? Jay Cutler was the best modern day quarterback the Bears will ever have. Well, Andy Dalton's coming home, boys. Gardner Minshew is a good quarterback, and the Jags should plan to build around him. I mean, this video should also be images taken before disaster. Breeze has inflated numbers and has greatly benefited from his division and coach play calling. I don't know what they got going on with the Saints play calling. They just got some moonaroons over there with Taysom Hill and all that. I don't know about the division, though. They haven't been bad. I mean, didn't, like, the last place team go, like, 7-9 or something at one point? Matt Stafford is one of the most over... Okay, I'm not going to read the rest of that. That's just bogus. It's because the dude plays for the Lions. He just doesn't deserve this. Aaron Rodgers isn't even a top 5 quarterback. Okay, well, yeah, right now he isn't top 5, but he will be in the future. He just came off the best season of his career. All teams should be owned by their months. I don't know how to pronounce that, but imagine a Connecticut team in the NFL. That would be lit. I would no longer be a Giants fan, and I would just forever support this Connecticut team through good and bad times. Frank Gore is not a Hall of Famer. Well, my friend, you are a Hall of Famer gulaggery. Julio Jones and Zeke are the best all-round players at their position right now. The best all-round receiver right now, in my opinion, is DK Metcalf. I mean, all Julio has right now over him is just the ability to catch. I mean, DK has drops. He's got to work on that. But I think overall, DK Metcalf, he's faster. They're both good at running routes, but he's also stronger, DK. Julio Jones has been on the injured side lately. And DK Metcalf, there was speculation that before he got drafted that he would, because he had so much muscle, he would get injured easily. As for Ezekiel Elliott, I'm going to be biased here. I think Saquon Barkley is the best all-around player at the halfback position. His only flaws really are his injury, but he is so good in the passing game. He's so strong. He's so elusive. He's so fast. The only reason Christian McCaffrey is not here is because of his strength. He's pretty small compared to Saquon Barkley. Matthew Stafford. There's been a lot of Matthew Stafford today. Matthew Stafford gets drafted by a semi-competent organization. He's a Russell Wilson / Aaron Rodgers level elite quarterback for the majority of his career. And if an organization is responsible for getting defensive players, it really has no effect on Stafford, because in the end, these defensive players won't affect whether he's an elite quarterback or not. I know I'm going to sound like I'm contradicting myself from earlier, but Matt Stafford has had some pretty solid weapons. He's had Calvin Johnson, he's had Kenny Galladay, Marvin Jones, even Golden Tate in his prime. I just think, though, that Russell Wilson and Aaron Rodgers are naturally gifted. But I see what this guy is saying, because he's been on a whack team for 10 years, and he's not getting enough recognition for it. Eli Manning is not a Hall of Famer, and if he got in, he would be the worst quarterback in the Hall. Alright, calling all Giants fans, if someone says this to you, just bring up Dan Fouts. He was one of the worst quarterbacks to make the Hall of Fame of all time. To give you an idea, he won MVP, and he threw for only 2,900 yards and 17 touchdowns in 14 games. Super Bowl wins is an incredibly stupid stat to use for players. Wins are a terrible metric to judge quarterbacks. See, there you go. Eli Manning was 1-14 and 1-14, I think. Since 2015, Kirk Cousins is better than Aaron Rodgers. Yeah, okay. Belichick with Payton wins more Super Bowls than Belichick with Brady. I gotta disagree with this one. He's been on 2 teams in his career, and he's been terrible in the playoffs on both. Imagine if Payton's performances replaces those extremely insane performances by Brady. He's just not gonna stand a chance. Antonio Brown is the best receiver of the 2010s. Yes, definitely. It was just so disappointing to see him go through what he went through. I mean, he could have easily been a top 5 receiver had he not gone through any of those conflicts. I mean, I could have sworn there was a stat where he had the most receiving touchdowns in the past decade while missing 2 years. That's crazy. Aaron Rodgers is just average and had been for half of a decade. Well, if he's beating you, I don't know how many times he's beat him. I know the Cowboys have beat him only once in the past decade, and that's just not a good look. John Mara is quietly the worst owner in the league besides Snyder. Well, they've both done well this offseason. They got Kenny Galladay, the Giants, and Kyle Rudolph. Adoree Jackson, the Washington football team, got Curtis Samuel, William Jackson. I'll say this though right now, no disrespect to the Falcons fan, because the Falcons are the worst franchise right now. Since they choked the Super Bowl in 2017, the Falcons have been down atrocious. There are quarterbacks who are great, not so much because of their talent, but because of their talent around them, as well as coaching staff they have. People talk about them passing the eye test, and I think it's a real thing. You can see when Mahomes or Rodgers goes off on a quarterback like Brees, still great benefits from coaching and players that put them in the best situation to succeed. That's very true, but Drew Brees' best receiver last year was running slant routes, so don't know about that one. The Pats' success is partly due to playing in a weak division. Would they still be a contender in a tougher division? Absolutely. Would they be making the Super Bowl almost every year? No, it wouldn't be guaranteed a first-round bye every year. By the way, can we talk about how this is a Washington football team fan saying this? You should be fortunate that the Patriots are not in the NFC East. Otherwise, we would be screwed for generations. Tom Brady would have 0 Super Bowl rings without Belichick. Nice of you to say that. Stephen Jones is one of the worst GMs in the NFL. I mean, Cowboys fans have been spoiled in recent years with the players they've been given. And they got one of the best coaches right now in the NFL. I just do believe that the Cowboys players and the coaching just needs to execute better. I mean, you can't be given all this material and still fail massively. Michael Thomas wouldn't be in my top 5 wide receivers I would start my team with. You know what? I would agree with this guy, but there's just so much hate surrounding this guy running slants. I know I'm contradicting myself again, but if he's going to keep running slants, you just got to stop it somehow. Trading DeAndre Hopkins made sense in terms of developing Watson. What sense did that make? You just got David Johnson out of it, and he's washed. I'm done. I'm going to go drown myself in the shower. I'll be back. Oh, yeah, and thank you guys for 50 subs. I really appreciate it so much from the bottom of my heart. I started this channel in August, and I haven't done much for like 3 months. Then that Engram video popped up. All right, boys, tubby time. There once was a quarterback in New Jersey. His first name was Danny. He turned the ball over so many times. Throwless picks Jones throw. Soon may the Giants win to remind ourselves of Tom Coughlin, Kerry Collins, Eli Manning. Just let us have this one.